Hey there guys, it's Zologe here, and I just wanted to discuss a little bit regarding the Mega Monarchs and what they are doing in the game. Well, what we potentially could be doing with them. So, officially, I guess all the Monarch support has been, announced / released. We just got Grudge of the Monarchs and Caius the Mega Monarch announced for Secrets of Eternity, I do believe. And it's just pretty awesome. So let's go through all the support that they have. The good ones, not the bad ones. And of course all the Mega Monarchs. So let's go through the good spell and trap support that they have. We have the first Monarch, which is basically a way to get a double tribute on board. And it's a trap monster too, so you can use it for XC summons and synchros and all that good stuff. However, he does limit you to special summoning monsters of his attribute. However, you can still tribute him and treat him as a double tribute as long as you discard a card and declare his attribute, and then you can treat him as a double tribute for a monster of said attribute, which is, pretty useful for other decks, not necessarily just Monarchs, but he's ever one of at most, maybe two if you really feel like getting out your Mega Monarchs a lot more often than you should. Next, of course, we have the Return of the Monarchs. This is one of the best support cards that has ever been released for this deck. When you tribute summon a monster, you can add either one monster with 2,400 attack and 1,000 defense, or a monster with 2,800 attack and 1,000 defense, which is, really good because it's basically a stadium for the deck. Because when you summon also you can't special summon anything for the extra deck when you have Return of the Monarchs on board. Just saying. But the card just allows you to infinitely search for your tribute monsters and things like that. So it's pretty good. However, it does give you another restriction, and that is that you can't use Treeborn Frog anymore, which makes me to believe that Ghost Tricks are going to be a huge part of this deck now, because that means it essentially gives you access to 3 battle faders, 6 additional battle faders, basically, and a lot of tributes and all that good stuff that you really want. Next, of course, there is the Escalation of the Monarchs. This is another really good Monarch card, which is actually TCG exclusive. And it allows you to tribute summon during your opponent's main phase or battle phase, which is insane. It speeds up the deck immensely. It's like, okay, I'm going to negate an attack with, say, my Battle Fader or something, and then I'm just going to tribute for Caius and banish one of your cards. That is a really, really good, which essentially is, in a sense, a tribute special summon, because, it speeds up the deck immensely. You don't even need to go for, some instant tributes or whatever, because of what this card does. Now, anyway, next, of course, there is what's it called? The Monarch Stormforth, which is hands down one of the best ones, because it's basically a card which allows you to tribute a monster opponent controls for the tribute summon of a monster that you for any tribute summon, really. And it doesn't lock you out of the battle phase, unlike Soul Exchange. It doesn't lock you out of battle phase. However, it does lock you out of your special summon from the extra deck. Not necessarily that you care when you play Monarchs, because they don't play extra deck anyway because of other reasons. Well, you're not going into your extra deck that often, so you're not going to be, too hurt by it anyway, because all the other cards you have restrict you from going into the extra deck anyway. Then, of course, there is another one which is worth mentioning, and that is March of the Monarchs, which basically just allows you to protect your Monarchs, basically. As for the Monarchs themselves, the best ones are, in my opinion, Mobius, Caius, and Ryza. Those 3 are the best ones. Caius, hands down. Mobius is maybe if you're on waters. And of course, Ryza, because Ryza is actually, pretty decent if you actually get him out with a wind monster. Because it allows you to just bounce back 2 cards and actually bounce back a card from the graveyard back to the top of your deck. So it has taking away an opponent's draw phase, or essentially giving you recyclability for your cards, because that's something which this deck doesn't have a lot of. As well as the new card, which was just released, which is Grudge of the Monarchs, which searches out all the Monarch support as long as you can reveal a Monarch in your hand, aka a monster with 2,400 attack and 1,000 defense, or a monster with 2,800 attack and 1,000 defense. Now, Konami made it like this because they know that Monarch players like to play Vanity's Fiend and Majesty's Fiend, and those have a 2,400 attack and 1,000 defense, so they are eligible as well. And you can search them out with the Return of the Monarchs too, so that's really cool. Now, what are we potentially going to be playing is, of course, the Mega Monarch Caius, because he is basically a Trishula on crack. You hit a Dark Monster, you get rid of all the copies of that card. They're all banished, and you inflict 1,000 points of damage to your opponent. That's pretty insane. And you can actually do this to 2 monsters if you tributed a Dark Monster. So that is really, really awesome. So tell me what you guys think about the Monarchs, and I'm out.